Hello and welcome to the March 2025 edition of Easy Talks. I am the Erica, and this is my SS.
This is Zendalannette.
Hey, so look, one of the things that I love so much about Easy Talks is we keep it all the way real, and we talk about how we are showing up in real life in real time. So right here, right now, it is March 31st, 2025, which means tomorrow is April 1st. And my SS and I, how dedicated and how much this means to us is we real life recorded a whole well, no, hold on. We real life did an Easy Talks on Saturday, and we got to have the humbling experience of doing a 1 hour Easy Talks and then realizing, oops, we didn't record it. So now my SS is in that beautiful background, but she is at her stream. I am at home waiting for my doorbell to ring. But this is, again, the dedication.
Look, on my stream, on my lunch break.
Hello, talk about an SS. And I just ran and got my baby. I was like, look, I can't even sign him out. I got a meeting to go to. I don't know where homeboy is at. Write it down on a piece of paper. We got to get home because we got somebody else coming. But this is, like I said, this is how we show up in real life, real time. And we could have been like, oh, F it. We ain't got time. Life is lifing. But no, here we are. So if that means we doing a 12-minute Easy Talks, then we going easy for 12 minutes. And if that means that we sit down and we have this real life session where we just going and we just sewing and we just receiving and we just vibing and feeling and realize none of it got captured, that's part of the experience and the journey too. What you want to add on to that, SF?
You know, it's funny because I thought about that and it wasn't ready for the world. What we talked about, and I look at it from a personal stance of the things that I shared, what we talked about, it was things that I needed to release in sacred space, which was sacred space that I was able to occupy with my soul sis, right? In real life, real time, because we hadn't connected in shared space in a while. And when I also think about it at another level, when I think about the intent of what we want to share, the intent of what I desire to share in divine timing, those things that I shared, they weren't quite ready for public consumption, if you will. And it was also a lesson in how I can show up in the superficiality of a situation and handling at a broad level when there's so much depth up to what we're enduring and engaging. And a part of it is, some of what I shared, it being a safe share, so to speak. But it gave me opportunity to really lean into some internal healing and some mirror work to see how I showed up. And but most importantly, learning a lesson in those were things, it was like a journaling session, but verbally, if you will. You know what I mean? Helping us to take and I'll say us, but I mean me, right? Because it's that me work. It's me and you too, us, all of us. It was an opportunity for growth and transformation and evolution to really see how I have been navigating, how I do hold myself accountable, how I'm grateful that I have a soul sister that holds me accountable without beating things over my head, but really just being there and showing up as love to show me how I am reflecting and illuminating, so to speak. So Saturday, even though we didn't record it, it was powerful. It made room for some deep healing and creativity and just all kinds of goodness that came as a result of it. Because what I've learned in my human design space is that it takes those with an emotional authority. It takes those moments of bending over in the fetal position and then coming out and just being able to release, because I've made space to be able to get the downloads that I need. But I literally, physically and mentally, mind, body, spirit, I have to make space. And a lot of times that's through talking, that's through journaling. Saturday was with sharing space with my soul sis and being able to talk and connect, communing over lunch. And then like I was exhausted. So I went home and I typically I don't take naps. Well, just when my body needs it and I needed to take a nap. So when we reached out and was like the time, I was literally going down for a nap because my body was, I'd had a lot of work. And I also feel like I'm in a birthing season. I don't know what yet, but it's definitely birthing. So, yeah, that was a lot,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and I
yeah.
mean, I'm so grateful because I mean, I think too, like I was telling my husband, he was like, how did it go? And I was like, babe, like we had a full blown easy session and none of it got captured, and all I could do was laugh. And once upon a time, like I would have started stressing, I would have started like getting all in my head, I would have been frustrated, I would have, I could have easily shifted into that not self space. And
Hmm.
this time, like I literally just laughed because today, that it's not a like a huge like, oh no, but it is something where like I'm intentional about something and then something totally different happens or comes from that. And so like I said, I would reach that space or enter into that space of frustration and agitation and beating myself up and all the other extraness, and to be able to laugh was such a gift because it's like if it would have been meant for us to have shared it and released it, it would have happened. And today, I have such a level of faith in knowing, like, and just all of the experiences that have just shown me over and over and over again, like, boo boo, baby girl, what is for you never misses you, and what misses you is not for you, and learning how
Yeah.
to trust that, because I can plan all day,
Hmm.
and my design is not about planning, my design is about responding.
Hmm.
And you talked about that emotional solar plexus, sis, and in human design, we have 9 centers, but we have pressure centers, we have motor centers, and we have awareness centers. And our emotional solar plexus, which both my SS and I have, it is one of the only that is both, not one of, it is the only that is both a motor center and B, an awareness center. And so the gift of that for both of us, just piggybacking on what my SS said, is like we get to be with the full spectrum of emotions. It's not always even to make a decision, even though that's our decision making. Sometimes it's just the experience of the emotions. And so they
Hmm.
don't have to mean anything. We just to get to be with them. We get to just ride the ride. We get to just literally have an experience that is both high and that is both low and that takes us on twists and turns and ups and downs. And then when it's over just to be over in that moment. And for me, I'm like, I always thought everything had to mean something. And what I'm realizing is everything does mean something. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's something you have to take action with. It doesn't necessarily mean it's something you have to speak on. It doesn't necessarily mean it's something that you have to then do a next step with. Sometimes that something is the simplicity of being and
Yeah.
experiencing and witnessing and observing just a moment in time within yourself, or even like with my SS and I, that was an emotional roller coaster when we easied on Saturday, and yet it was for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And just for our partnership, our sistership, our connection, our relationship, and what we both needed in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
So
so
true.
so grateful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just for the space that we get to hold for each other. And I think it's interesting because we have been saying like, okay, we have our work time, our business time, where we bring in TRC and the lighthouse together. And then also, it has been very important for both of us to have just SS time, our
Yeah.
quality time, our pleasure time, because we are both sacred beings. And I think that even though we went in with the intention to easy, we got to just have our sister time, and it just
Exactly.
for us.
Just a gift. What a gift. What a gift. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, um, Yeah, is there anything that you would like to leave us with, SS? I know you stay dropping a journal prompt on us, and as we get ready to close March and enter into the beautiful April month, which is our birthday season, um, or our birthday month, but what would you like to leave people with to marinate on and to reflect on and to journal on?
As we wrap up on March 31st, 2025, make space this evening, sometime this week, tonight. Challenge yourself to do it tonight. I am too. To sit and think about all of your wins, all of your successes that you've had this month. Look at your opportunities. And most importantly, make sure as you prepare for April, you do your daily wellness and well-being practices, that you make space for sacred time with your people, and that you write out what your intentions are for the month for yourself, and for your purpose.
Ooh, that's a good one. Thank you for that, SS. Well,
Absolutely.
y'all, again, I think this may be the shortest easy talks we have ever done. But
Easy shorts.
yeah, hey, that part, yes. I love that. And everything happens for a reason. So we keep it as short and sweet this month. Um, but it's just important that we touch down and we touch down with intention and we touch down with purpose. So
Yes.
that was just my doorbell ringing. So
All right. Love you.
until next month, love you, SS.
Yes. Love you too.
Enjoy
Chat
the
soon.
gift of today, everyone.
Yes.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.